Superintendent, the 7-year-old boy who was killed, you say the system failed him. How so? How did it fail him?
In this case, the intended target was the victim's father. And the victim's father was arrested 45 times, the last time for a firearm here in Chicago back in April. He bonded out the next day. I'm sorry, but if you're arrested 45 times, you shouldn't be on the street, especially when your last one is a gun possession. There should have been a high bond set or a high bail, but the system here in Chicago, or I should say in Illinois, doesn't allow for that. The possession of an illegal loaded firearm is not even considered a violent crime for sentencing purposes. And until such time as that changes here, we're going to be talking about Chicago violence. We can make a better police department. We could make a more functional police department. We take more guns off the street than any city in the country every single year, 7-to-1 compared to New York City. And I mean, I worked in New York for 25 years, as you know, and I know those officers. These are great officers here. They're not 7 times better than the New York City Police Department.
This young boy who got killed, his father, who, as you say, was supposedly the intended target, is not cooperating with the investigation into the murder of his own son. Is that still the case?
Yeah, that's still the case. Yesterday, after I kind of went public with my rant, he gave us a statement, but it was a vanilla statement that he didn't see anything. You know, I can't reveal the circumstances that we know occurred at that scene at this time, but he could do a lot better for us, let's put it that way. And you know, the fear is he's going to take care of it himself. So while we're being held accountable for violence here in the city, and I accept our accountability as a cog in the wheel, there's a much bigger picture here. If he wasn't on the street, the shooting doesn't occur. Now that he is on the street, I'm worried that the next shooting's going to occur as retaliation.
Right, and in retaliating, who knows who gets killed in the crossfire of that. I mean, I gotta say, I know there's this whole code of not being a snitch, but it used to be that a snitch was somebody who would talk to the police in order to get a lesser sentence or turn on somebody. This is just being a decent human being, being a decent citizen, and saying what you saw, especially when it's your own child has been killed. I gotta say, I just find it incredible.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head, Anderson. There's a difference between being a co-conspirator and being a witness. And, you know, that's the difference between, yeah, that's exactly it. It's incredible.
I mean, hopefully somebody who saw something will come forward, because I mean, if people don't report crimes, if people don't admit what they saw and tell the police, things don't get solved. I mean, that contributes. That is part of the problem.
Yeah, it is part of the problem. And in this case, we've got some really good leads at this point, but you know, it's, as you said, it's just incredible that we're not getting cooperation from the individual who we know can probably put this thing over the top very easily.
To the parents in the neighborhoods where kids and teenagers over the weekend were killed, parents who have genuine concerns about the safety of their kids, what's your message to them? I mean, can you really tell them that they are safe?
My message is, you know, we've got a lot of work to do. We've made improvements. We're doing better. But at the end of the day, if we're going to fix gun violence in the city of Chicago, it revolves around the entire system getting involved, starting with having legislation that makes sense, that puts a sanction that's swift and certain as far as gun possession goes.
Well,